Following hundreds of layoffs, Unity has recently announced its plans to merge with a company called ironSource, best known for its mobile monetization and malware practices. And then, after being criticized, Unity's CEO lashed back at detractors, calling them the biggest frickin' idiots. Only he didn't use frickin'. Sorry, YouTube doesn't like it if you cuss in the first 30 seconds of the video. Don't worry, we'll get to that later. But let me get you all caught up first. Unity, of course, is the name of the company that built and manages the Unity game engine, which is used by developers small and large to make lots of different games. Just to list a few: Cuphead, Hollow Knight, Rust, Hearthstone, Fall Guys, Among Us, and Genshin Impact were all built using Unity. In short, Unity basically started small but then disrupted the game engine market with a whole mess of good ideas, including cross-platform support and a really strong free model, ultimately giving a lot of creative people the tools they needed to get into making games. But now, Unity has gone from scrappy tech industry disruptor to megacorp overlord worth over $11 billion. John Riccitiello, a former COO and CEO of EA, became the CEO of Unity in 2014. Unity has had some controversy in the past given its roots and its trajectory as a for-profit company, but now things really seem to be reaching ahead. According to a report from Kotaku, who spoke with multiple sources at the end of June, the company started experiencing massive layoffs, with somewhere between an estimated 300 to 400 people being let go across the entire company. The layoffs reportedly came just 2 weeks after an all-hands meeting where CEO John Riccitiello assured staffers the company was not in any financial trouble and that Unity wouldn't be laying anyone off. Following the Kotaku story, backlash on social media, and a long silence, Unity finally confirmed that a planning effort to realign their resources with their priorities and a renewed focus on long-term growth led to hard decisions that impacted approximately 4% of Unity's entire workforce. If you've experienced a large layoff before, you are certainly familiar with this BS corporate speak. It's very clear executives generally know what they're doing, and when they do decide to lay off a massive amount of people, it's usually to redistribute funds into something else, and we're about to get into that. Fast forward to this week when Unity announced on Tuesday, July 12th, its plans to merge with ironSource, a company, Unity says, brings a proven record of helping creators focus on what creators do best, bringing great apps and user experiences to life, while enabling business expansion in the app economy. You don't have to surf around on the official ironSource website for too long to realize this is a company that specializes in aggressively monetizing apps on mobile devices with ads and data collection. But also, as PC Gamer recounts with copious detail, ironSource is a company infamous for developing a form of malware called InstallCore, which could backdoor mobile apps and adware onto Windows PCs. To make matters worse, it appears Unity plans for growth include introducing monetization efforts earlier into the game-making process. Basically, by embedding a bunch of data collection, Unity is hoping developers will monetize their games as early as possible, and then use the data models provided by ironSource and Unity to get people to spend more money or more time watching ads. Obviously, by this point, Unity staff, former and current, are completely fuming. But to quote AVGN, the cherry on top of this Sunday came from an interview Riccitiello did with PocketGamer.biz, where he was asked about pushback from developers who don't want to monetize their games in this way. Riccitiello replied, Ferrari and some of the other high-end car manufacturers still use clay and carving knives. It's a very small portion of the gaming industry that works that way. And some of these people are my favorite people in the world to fight with. They're the most beautiful and pure, brilliant people. They're also some of the biggest idiots. Riccitiello continued, I've seen great games fail because they've tuned their compulsion loop to 2 minutes when it should have been an hour. Sometimes you wouldn't even notice the product difference between a massive success and tremendous fail, but for this tuning and what it does to the attrition rate. There isn't a developer on the planet that wouldn't want that knowledge. To translate a little bit here, he's talking about integrating data collection and monetization tools into Unity as an engine for the sole purposes of monitoring the attention of players on a massive scale, so presumably developers can make more effective free-to-play style games that prey on player psychology to get them to either play longer than they would, watch ads, or spend money. In the mobile market, that's just kind of the name of the game. That's how it works. There's a lot of data and research that's gone into this. It's obviously very lucrative and one of ironSource's specialties, hence the merger. As you can imagine, there's a lot of frustration from passionate Unity developers who you can assume are working on a game engine because they like the idea of enabling others to push video games forward as an artistic medium, not collecting data and forcing the most aggressive monetization structure onto developers and their players. Then you have a bunch of game developers who use Unity to make successful games on Twitter, kind of firing back at Riccatello's comment. Ben Esposito, creator behind the recently released Neon White, tweeted, "I made Apple's iPhone Game of the Year in 2018, Donut County, using Unity. But according to their CEO, I'm a big idiot for not making Hole.io, the free-to-play game that ripped it off." Noel Berry, a developer on Celeste, tweeted, "Unity last month lays off hundreds of employees. Unity this month spends $4.4 billion in stock options to merge with a malware ad company." Berry added, "I know making your own engine isn't necessarily as accessible, especially for 3D, but I seriously think at least looking at open source alternatives would be really worth it." Searching around the topic a little on Twitter, you can see a lot of other sentiments of developers kind of waning and, really questioning if they want to make their next game on Unity, and some even questioning if they should scrap a project they have in mid-development to move it over to a different engine. Now that Unreal 5 is out and also free, it seems like a real bad time for Unity to piss off a bunch of previously loyal developers. If you check the company's value online right now, you can see, despite recently buying companies like Weta Workshop and Proton, Unity's stock price has been declining all year. All right, that's going to do it for today. Pour one out in the comments for any Unity developers out there. And if you have a good recommendation for a good video game engine that isn't Unity, you might want to leave that down there in the comments as well. All right, thanks for watching, everyone. And for more video game news and updates, stay tuned right here to Inside Gaming.